So hey y'all, here's my one little post today. My final exams were yesterday, both of them, first year students and second year students. I haven't even started grading yet. I have no motivation to dig and wade through all this stuff. Grades are due Monday. I gotta do it. Can't put it off much longer. But here's my engineering professor advice today. If you are earning a degree in engineering, studying engineering, do the algebra yourself. I spent one day last week emailing all my students what their exam averages are and what they need to make on the final to meet a certain exam average, maybe even to pass the class. If you're getting an engineering degree, you ought to be able to do the algebra yourself to figure out what you need to get on the final to pass the class or to get on the final to get the grade that you want. The reason this is so important is because there are certain classes in my department, and the one I'm teaching right now is one of them, where you have to have a weighted passing exam average of 60% or higher to pass the class. The reason why is because these classes have lots of labs and lots of homework assignments. And those percentages sometimes can be so high that even a student who has a failing exam average can eke their way to a C or a D. So some of the follow-on courses, we had to make this requirement to make sure that just because you can get A's and B's on labs and homework, which you may have done collaboratively or with a lab partner, but you can't pass an exam, which is the one assessment that you have to do on your own, you can't pass the class. And for some students that feels unfair, but it's very important. If the one thing in the class that you have to do by yourself, you cannot pass, then you're not ready for the follow-on course. We also have a requirement in these classes that you must do all of the labs in order to move on. You can't pass the class if you do well on everything, but you can't do well in the lab. Same reason we have a lab practical. In electrical engineering at my school, almost every class has labs. So if you're not able to build circuits, do experiments, use measurement tools, you can't move on. Even if you can do theory and the math on a written assignment. That hands-on, realistic, real-world skill set is equally or more important, I don't say more, but equally as important as understanding the theory. So that's why these classes matter. Today's post was really about just do the algebra yourself and don't make your professor do math for you when you're a math or STEM major, because that's a big part of your skill sets. But really, all that other stuff I shared is equal as important. Just something to think about. Stay STEM-tastic.